This is every day, damn near across our country, because it's not getting better. We're just getting numb. It's getting disgusting out there. Obviously, entirely too common. Gun laws, we need to get back to sanity, not the current insanity that we have, where people run wild about who's committing crimes and why they're committing crimes. All of these mass shootings are happening far too frequently, and we need to have a real conversation. You know, usually I come out yelling, screaming, ripping, and racing, but there's a somber tone to me today, as last night was a really tough night, the toughest of which happened in New York City, where a 27-year-old suspect killed 4 people in downtown Manhattan, including an off-duty police officer that was working to support an 8-month pregnant wife and child. He was shot as a gunman who had driven across country from Las Vegas, got out of his car, went into the lobby, and decided to just go shooting at 345 Park Avenue around 6:30 last night in New York City. The gunman has been identified as Shane Shimura, and it has been now discussed, or at least alleged, that his target was the NFL officers. In fact, one NFL employee is in critical condition right now. Shimura had a grievance, apparently, against the NFL. He had been a football player, has CTE, according to a note left in his back pocket. Allegedly, a suicide note. Allegedly. The message he carried read, "You can't go against the NFL. They'll squash you." He had grievances against the NFL as he battled, according to him, CTE. Apparently, the gunman was seen by numerous people walking through Manhattan with what is described as a long gun. Walks into the lobby, kills Officer Islam, who was working security at the front desk. According to Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, the gunman then took the wrong elevator trying to get to the NFL offices. He ended up on the 33rd floor. R.I.P. Rest in peace to the 4 innocent lives lost. People that were just going to work. People that were just showing up on a busy Monday afternoon, going home, getting ready to go home, putting in a hard day's work. And some lunatic, some jackass drives from Las Vegas cross country. In his own warped, dumb mind, decides he's going to walk through Manhattan, not a care in the world, with a long gun and starts killing. It's terrible. It's one of the worst tragedies in our nation's history when somebody can just do that. Think about it. Guy walks through a busy downtown, long rifle, starts killing. Mayor Adams said the shooter was targeting the NFL, but he took the wrong elevator. As I said, 4 people are dead. If you went to Fox News last night, you saw the barricades. You saw the barricades of people in their offices scared to death that this shooter might come in after them. You know, it was known, or at least it was alleged last night before they got any official confirmation, it was thought that the gunman had targeted something, somewhere, somehow. 345 Park Avenue is close to Times Square. If you're going to kill a lot of people, Times Square, as was talked about last night on all the news stations, was buzzing with people on a beautiful summer evening, hanging out. But this man decided he was going to drive. He was going to drive cross country, get out of his car, park it wherever. That'll be discussed later. That'll be found out later. Walk across Manhattan. People saw him. Numerous 911 calls were made, but nobody stopped the man. Now, I'm going to get into why people didn't stop the man. I mean, the guy's carrying a rifle. There's no question. This is the shooter. The New York City gunman was identified as Shane Tamura, drove cross country. Now, amazingly, CNN described him as a white guy. I'll get into that later as well. My thoughts are with the people involved. My thoughts are the tragedy, the absolute tragedy of 4 lives lost on a Monday afternoon as people were getting ready to go home from work by a lunatic with a gun. NFL employees, as has been widely reported, this is Roger Goodell. A gunman committed an unspeakable act of violence in our building at 345 Park Avenue. One of our employees was seriously injured in this attack. He's currently in the hospital and in stable condition. NFL staff are at the hospital. We're supporting the family. We believe that all our employees are otherwise safe and accounted for, and our building has nearly been cleared. We are deeply grateful to the law enforcement officers who responded to this threat quickly and decisively, and to Officer Islam, who gave his life to protect others. He was the officer manning the lobby, the first man shot. As you know, there are significant resources available to all employees, including grief counselors. Short and EHR will send you more information on the available resources and how to take advantage of them. Those based in New York work remotely tomorrow. It's understandable if you prefer to take the day off. There will be an increased security presence at 345 Park Avenue in the days and weeks to come. Every one of you is a valued member of the NFL family. We will get through this together. You never really get through something like this, though. You never do. Ask anybody that was robbed at gunpoint or knife point, working at a convenience store, gas station, whatever. You get through it. You move on with your life. Tomorrow starts another day. Tonight starts another night. But you never truly get through it. Think about what one deranged man with a gun caused last night. The death of 4 people, including Officer Islam, 8-month pregnant, with a family. Think about last night I was watching, and I'm thinking of all the people involved. And then there was some idiot woman out front with a Free Palestine sign that the police officers took away, and she went from being a defiant jackass to a scared mess that probably shit herself. No, it's getting disgusting out there. And when you look at all the defund police rhetoric coming from a variety of people, including the Democratic candidate for mayor, who did you call first last night? You know who you called. You called the freaking police. The police were out there securing. The police gave their life. Islam, the officer, gave his life right there, protecting others, off duty, apparently to make more money to support his family. An innocent victim, as all were. Because a deranged man, I don't know how you stop it. I don't know. New York has very strict gun laws. That certainly didn't stop. You know, we need idiot-free zones. We need dumbass-free zones. We need law and order. This story really pisses me off because innocent people lost their lives for no good reason, other than a guy had CTE, at least he alleged, and had a grievance somehow, some way with the NFL. Now, what this kid's grievance is, I have no idea, other than he did not play in the NFL. He played in Canada. Apparently, he was a decent enough player that he played in Canada, had a chance to play professionally. But somehow, some way, in his twisted mind, he morphed this into, I'm going to shoot up the NFL. This is becoming, obviously, entirely too common. Gun laws, my ass. Civility. Parents involved. You know, I remember this, and I always go back to this. It'd be interesting to see if this young man had a father. Tony Dungy's talked about it. Barack Obama's talked about the need for fathers in African-American homes. I would talk about the need for fathers in all homes, white people's homes. I mean, the statistics are startling when you look at, by percentage, how more vulnerable you are, how more you go to jail, deal drugs, commit felonies when you don't have a father in the home. I'm going to say it. I'm not saying this as a way to cure it all, but I'm saying it as a way to get back to some type of morality, as a way to get back to some type of sense of decency in the home. It's not the answer. Neither is gun laws. Neither is stricter gun laws. Nobody's got stricter gun laws than New York. A toning down of the rhetoric, a toning down of the hate. Maybe that would do it. But you're not going to stop an idiot with a gun. The only thing that stops an idiot with a gun is a good guy with a gun. I mean, think about this also. And this has me really pissed off. Think about the guy back, a year ago that helped an entire subway by subduing, killing whatever you want, a crazy person on a subway. The Good Samaritan had his life uprooted, had his life destroyed. Obviously got found innocent by a jury, but what a hellacious time for him as somebody helping. So people say, well, why didn't somebody stop the gunman? Really? How do you do that? I mean, you tackle the guy from behind. in a crazy-ass state like New York with crazy-ass liberals running it, you may be the one to go to jail. You may be the one that gets prosecuted. You probably are. We've seen it before. I mean, we need to get back to sanity, absolute sanity, not the current insanity that we have, where people run wild. Hell, we saw it in Cincinnati. A police chief blamed social media for a bunch of African Americans beating the living shit out of white people at a festival. We're afraid to condemn the idiots, no matter what color they are. We're afraid to say, look, stop. I mean, the statistics on black crime, black on white crime are staggering. 97% black on black killing. But we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to talk about anything because we might offend. What a bunch of bullshit that is. It's time, it's well past time to come out and start talking real about who's committing crimes and why they're committing crimes. Look, white people shoot places up too. And when we look back at those people, there were signs of craziness. Law enforcement needs to be able to do their job to harness, throw in jail, wherever you got to throw them, people that are known freaking dangers to society. This guy, this Shimura, was known in Las Vegas as having mental problems. But what do you do? I mean, what do you do? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. I just know that people that are in law enforcement to this day, I play golf with them, I talk to them constantly, feel like their hands are tied to keep bad guys off the streets. We need to start having serious conversations. I get it. There's going to be another side to this that calls me racist. I get it. There's another side of this that's going to say, oh, shut up, it's guns, or shut up, you only say it when a black. No. I'm saying black, white, green, or purple. We need to take the shackles off our police. We need to get honesty back in our FBI, in our security, and tackle these things head on with real talk, not being afraid to say that 95% of black folks are killed by other black folks, or 80-some% of white folks are killed by black folks, or cops only kill 2% of white folks and 1% of black folks. We're so scared to say any of that. We're so scared to say anything. Now, what does that have to do with this? Nothing. You can't stop a crazy person, but all of these mass shootings are happening far too frequently, and we need to have a real conversation, and we need to have real law enforcement. Not this fake shit where some chief of police is afraid to say that a bunch of African Americans went crazy on a bunch of white people, put them in the hospital. We're afraid to say that. Hey, if white people do it, do the same thing. Doesn't matter the color. But we need to have conversations that are real. I mean, honest to God, we have now become so insulated, so jaded, so numb, so callous to mass shootings. We just had another one in Indianapolis. We got a bunch of young black kids running around downtown without parents, shooting each other, shooting at other people, twice. One right downtown, one off of downtown, and nobody wants to say it. A prosecutor doesn't want to prosecute much. Why don't we just say it? Who cares? Reasonable people, black and white, understand it. But we're so damn scared. I mean, finally, the chief of police in Indy came out and said, yo, I'm putting a curfew on you idiots. When Barack Obama talked about not having fathers in the African-American community, I talk about it in the white community, you're considered a racist. I mean, when Obama did it, you're considered smart. When Tony Dungy said the exact same thing, because he's a conservative, he was crucified in the press. It's idiotic. It's asinine. Facts are facts. Let's get fathers in the home. Let's make fathers in the nuclear family a thing again. Is that going to solve a crazy man? Of course not. But damn, this is every day, damn near across our country, every hour of every day, and we're numb. Columbine wasn't the first, but it was the most visual for us. You know how many times that has happened since? Shoot, every 6 months the school's shot up. You know how many mass shootings we have? I don't think there's been a mass shooting or was a mass shooting in Indianapolis until the last 3 years when all of a sudden we got a prosecutor in there here in Indy that doesn't give a rat's ass and is owned and bought and paid for and panders to a community that does most of the crime. Make that make sense. So here this guy comes across. Yes, I'm going on a tangent. Yes, I'm probably wrong. Yes, you can come at me all you'd like. Yes, the easiest thing in the world to do is say I'm racist. I'm just laying it out for you. Just like Obama did, just like Dungy did, I'm laying it out. More people should lay it out. It should become mainstream to talk about the real issues as opposed to it is mainstream to hide and do what the chief of police of Cincinnati did and be afraid to call out a certain group of people. It should be mainstream to try to quote statistics that accurately portray who's doing the crime. That way we can get to the bottom of it, and the bottom of it is families. Dads. I don't give a shit if it's a white, black, Hispanic, Asian. I don't care. Families, the nuclear family, the importance of fathers. And if you don't believe it, good for you. Not everybody should believe what I'm saying. But just look at the statistics, who's doing the crime, and what their background is. I'm so tired of this. So this guy, this Shane Shimura, he drives across country, Vegas to New York. Somehow, some way, in his mind, he should have been in the NFL. He has a grievance. The NFL will squash you, whatever. All right? Known back in Vegas. I'm so tired of hearing that. Well, we knew about him. We knew he was a jacked up clown. We knew he had mental health issues, but there wasn't anything we can do about it. You know, they closed asylums instead of making them better, instead of fixing the problem, getting people help. You know, I've dealt with mental health issues. I had a player come back, live with me. We got him help, but it didn't matter. We don't fund mental health issues like we should. We don't have enough help for the mentally incapable of surviving in our society. And let's be honest, if you want to know, I'm sure this Shimura guy did something in his past, played football, whatever. But at this point in his life, he was not capable of surviving in society. And maybe those in Vegas knew it. I'm not blaming the cops. I'm not blaming officials. Their hands are tied by the idiocy of our lawmakers, our laws, and our media. Everybody knows one slip-up saying what I just said on any other network would get me fired immediately. If I said what I just said about fathers, if I said what I just said about crime rates, who's committing crime against who, I would be fired, taken off the air at ESPN so damn fast your head would spin, even if, and you'll see it today on ESPN, the conversation was about sports. But for me to bring this out, 97% of African Americans are killed by African Americans. 80-some% of white people are killed by African Americans. 1% are killed by cops. 2% white people killed by cops. You say those statistics, and God dang, 75% of African-American homes don't have fathers. 75% did going back about 20 years. No different than white people. I don't know the numbers on white people. If I get them, I'll tell you. But if I would say that anywhere else, put me on CNN and say that, I guarantee you what would happen. The screen would go dark and I'd be fired tomorrow. Same thing with ESPN. But these things need to be discussed because it's not getting better. We're just getting numb. And that's the worst thing you can be. My African-American friends all say the same thing to me. They're the ones that gave me the statistics. They did. They're like, we're jacked up. You white people are nuts. You're afraid. Quit being afraid. Let's work together. But imagine, just imagine. This speech right here, what is it, 10, 15 minutes? We're on ESPN sitting with those idiots. Oh, my God, I'd be escorted out of the building. And they'd try to probably get me arrested. But all I did was give you facts. Look it up. Tell me I'm wrong. I mean, we're not even tired of it. That's the biggest bitch of this. We're not tired of it. We're just jaded. We're just numb. Now another mass shooting. See, I'll tell you what hit me. And this is a long time ago, but it furthered it. A couple weeks ago, downtown, bunch of African-American kids, one walking with a long rifle in his pants, dropped off. Took the bus downtown. There's a picture of a kid standing behind shooting each other. 7 people dead downtown. They had another one a couple of days ago. I didn't even know about it. It wasn't downtown, but it was close enough. I mean, when you go to Indy, you probably would venture there. We just become jaded. It wasn't a big deal. School shootings aren't even the headline anymore. This is a headline, frankly, because it happened in New York City and because it happened to attach itself to the biggest sport in our country, which is the NFL. So this becomes a massive headline, but this shit happens damn near every day. And we don't want to address it. So write your bullshit. Yeah, I know Awful Announcing, Essentially Sports, all you jackasses will write about this is right. No, it's not. It's fact. Look it up for yourself. If I'm wrong, feel free. Come on here and tell me I'm wrong. But Obama talked about it. Dungy talked about it. But again, because Obama was a freaking African-American Democrat, he could talk about it. Literally, Tony Dungy put a tweet out saying, I only said the exact same words of President Obama, and you all are crushing me. Same words. African-American dude. Got crushed for saying 75% of the homes in the African-American community don't have fathers and gave their statistics on prison, on selling drugs, on being killed. Same as Obama. But we're so jacked up in this country. If this person said, so everybody knows that, so everybody's afraid to do what I just did and get mad about it and ask for people to start using common sense and just simply have a discussion, a real discussion, put it out there and put some damn fear in criminals. They ain't no fear in criminals. Hell, in Indianapolis, they know Ryan Mears, the prosecutor's bought and paid for. All you got to do as a crazy man in Cincinnati is watch that ridiculous liberal police chief blame social media for a bunch of African-American folks beating the shit out of a couple white people. I mean, all you got to do is see that, and you're like, hey, I can do whatever the hell I want. And if you are a criminal, if you are a crazy person, you go out and do it. Tom Homan tries to speak up. He's defending getting rid of criminals from our society, and he gets butchered every day. No, it's insane. How about we just deal with facts, and then we move it along, and we let law enforcement work? Period. Yes, there are bad people in law enforcement. Tough shit. There's bad people in everything. There's awful people in politics, in broadcasting, in teaching. There's bad people in boating, in fishing, in sports. What are you, nuts? Jesus Christ. It's a bunch of bullshit. We're so numb, it makes me nuts. And you got to fight that, period. You must fight being numb to this bullshit of a guy walking in with a long rifle, shooting an innocent man who's just working extra to provide for his family and for his wife, who's 8 months pregnant, taking an elevator and wants to go shoot up a football league. Nobody could try to stop him because, hell, you're going to be the one that ends up on trial. If you try to stop the guy, you tackle the guy from behind, shoot, your ass is going to be the one on trial. Your ass is going to be the one convicted in the court of public opinion. That's what's going to happen. I mean, people say, well, why didn't anybody stop him? What? I mean, are you crazy? No, honest to God. No, honest to God. You know, crazy dude named Jordan Neal. Crazy, insane. You know, you look at Wikipedia, the killing of Jordan Neely. Yeah, he was a freaking idiot on a subway threatening old women. A 24-year-old named Daniel Penny came, put him in a chokehold. Dude ended up dying, and guess who goes to jail? Penny. He's got to deal with all that until he's found innocent. So you're asking me, why don't people tackle the guy from behind? Hell, who needs to go to trial? Who needs to face life in prison? Because we're so fucked up with our judicial system in big cities run by Democrats. We just are. Say it. Say it with me. We are. It's insanity. Absolute insanity. And it really has me enraged. It really does. You won't see any of this shit. Hell, CNN said it was a white dude. Can you put a picture of this guy on? Can we put a picture of this guy, Shane Shimura, on? I don't know if we can or not. You tell me what about this dude even looks like a white dude. That's a white dude? See, that's how much bullshit there is. That's how much garbage there is out there. This is a white dude, according to some idiot on CNN. The same network that told you that President Biden was sharp as a tack. The Maryland man down there in Venezuela or wherever the hell it is. What, are you crazy? Why can't we just be honest? Somebody gets offended, be offended. Give a shit. Oh, man. Well, the thing I love about OutKick, I don't even think I'll get a call. I think I'll probably say good work. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm going too long. Maybe everybody's going to be pissed off. I don't know. What do I know? But long story short, the whole world's crazy. Donald Trump said, I've been briefed on the tragic shooting took place in Manhattan, a place that I know and I love. I trust our law enforcement agencies to get to the bottom of why this crazy lunatic committed such a senseless act of violence. My heart is with the families of the 4 people who were killed, including the NYC officer who made the ultimate sacrifice. God bless the New York Police Department, and God bless New York. Yeah, honest to God. I mean, I'll go to other news, but I'm pretty fired up right now. Hopefully we have a job when we come back, but damn, at some point somebody's got to tell the truth around here about all this going on in this country because we're getting numb to it. Only reason we're not numb happened in New York City, and it happened with the NFL. That's all I'm saying. No, that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is, hey, honest to God, if this happened somewhere else, and it probably did last night, we didn't pay attention to it. Seriously, that'd be a nil story. Now it's a major story because it's New York and the NFL. But we're so fucking numb to all this shit. I'm sorry for swearing, but it's insanity to me. Absolute insanity. How do you numb to people shooting in schools? How are you numb to people shooting in businesses? How are you numb to a bunch of teenagers taking over Chicago, running through the streets, jumping on police cars? How are you numb to kids in downtown Indy shooting up downtown Indy? How are you numb to all that? Explain that to me. Should never be numb to all that. Ever.